Hey, welcome to United Real Therapy. I'm your host, Mr. Strata. Hey, let's be having you therapy, army. Let's be having ya. Those of you wherever you are in this world, man, talk to me. First of all, we got top jam-packed show for you tonight. We are unpacking all of the BS with Man United so-called supposed takeover. We're also going to be asking you tonight, people, who's your favourite all-time five-a-side Man United teammate? Your all-time favourite five-a-side Manchester United team. Don't matter, mix and match any generation. Big up to everybody. I'd like to welcome the guests tonight. In that corner, in that bottom corner, we've got the man himself, Thomas, or shall I say Tommy. Bidding Mr. Tommy after doing his media rounds and everywhere he's been on. Fresh from Sky Sports Studios, United Stand Studios. It's Mr. Thomas from Helsinki. Tom Journalist One. Knock. How you doing, bro? How's your Friday night? How's your week been? Talk to me.
Oh man, listen, it's been crazy for all sorts of different reasons. For personal reasons to do with businesses that I'm involved in. I've also had all of the reporting to do and with different outlets and people to speak to, etc. And then obviously we've got the news of mystery bidders that are starting to come out of the woodwork, as it would seem, or as it may not seem, because for some people they don't, I guess, know the full picture or the full story as to what some of these people have been involved in or what they're actually about. So yeah, it'd be a good show for everybody to not only just speech and I guess preach, but also educate in a way of some of the fan base on some of the issues that we've seen with the media as well. But yeah, thanks for having me anyway, Nuruddin. All the best as always, brother. And Bombay.
Big up. We'll start with this one, innit? Big up, Lilas. Ramadan Mubarak to all my Muslims worldwide, mate. To all my people worldwide, innit? Second day. I hope it's all going well for you, wherever you are in the world. Big up to everybody. Big up to Tom. Let's hope everything's sorted, eh? Let's hope whatever personal business Tom's involved in, he ain't complicated and confusing as
It went well, put it that way. It went well.
There you go. Hey, Miss Tommy's done a deal with Thomas. I'm telling you, he's involved, people. He's involved. Hey, and good curry's on it for Man United, man. People who said to me, it's done by March. Where are you? Come out the woodwork, people. But big up to everybody. Yeah, man, BS negotiation place. Bumbaye, how you doing, Bumbaye? How are you? How's Ramadan treating you? Ramadan Mubarak to you, brother.
Yeah, Ramadan Mubarak to everybody. God willing, it's a blessed month. Special shout out to my brothers in Zaria in Nigeria and Sheikh Zakzaki holding it down out there. But Ramadan is going well, man. Really well. Feel great. It's been the second day. Really good. Thank you for asking. Blessed, man. No complaints here.
Yeah, man. Listen. This type of Ramadan is easy, man. Like I said, next year is even going to be easier. In January, it's going to be the best. Break your fast at 3:30 in the afternoon. That's where usually some people eat anyway.
No, man. No, it's.
I'm telling you. The long days are gone where it was like 10 o'clock at night, you know what I mean? It's gone mad.
Well, man, it's when you do Ramadan, you realize you may never get to see that long day ever again, because we're talking every year, 2 weeks, you know? So you wave goodbye to it and you think, man, am I ever going to get to do it again in my lifetime? Maybe not. So
exactly, it's a blessing. It's a blessing.
I think so.
Yeah, man. Pick up Usman Verka says Ramadan Mubarak. What did you make for? What did I make for iftar? Oh my word! I had protein.
Be honest, really Dino. Nice. Be honest.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I had amazing protein. I made up the. You know what? I make the best East African eggs in the world, man. Ain't nobody even close to my eggs. and my pasta. I had a lovely pasta and eggs, man. Lovely combo. Big up to you. But the samosas, mate, the samosas can be dangerous. I had lovely samosas yesterday. Quick question for Tom. Let's say, for example, other siblings sell Avram and Joe stay. Won't the Class B shares? They sell them into Class. No, basically.
No.
Let me just answer a quick question to Tom. Let's say that, for example, the other siblings sell Avram and Joe's Day, and won't the Class B shares they sell turn into Class A and be powerless? No, they won't. No, they won't. People will be buying the Class B shares specifically for their shares of the club.
Yeah.
Not that they won't be buying Class B shares.
The
Class B shares are the 30% or the 31% the Glazers don't own.
That's what's listed on New York Stock Exchange. That's why. Just for clarification.
Yeah, January is going to be lull, mate. It's going to be lull. Big up, especially if you live in this side of the world, man, when it goes dark early. Imagine you lived in Norway. Ramadan in Norway, mate. You're having it. Ramadan in Norway, you live like Java's Cocker. You live in the north of Norway. And it's just like, it's dark all night, mate. You're fasting for 2 hours. It's what it is, mate. You know. Big up, man. Big up. I'm the captain. Big up, big up, brother. I'm the captain, That captain, what's the film called? What's the film called? Captain, whatever his name is, with that film, man. They do my people dirty, man. I'm the captain. My brother here is sick actor, mate. I'm the captain now. Whatever it is, man. Captain Phillips, that's it. Big up to everybody. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Right. Let's get into it. Let's get into the cross of this, man. We made sure you're all in here, and let's get into it. So first of all, I'm gonna start with my 2-minute monologue. So basically, I've been telling everybody who follows me, that guy Red Devil, Mr. Structure, I have been telling everybody to hold their horses. I've been on giddy watch from day one, and I've been telling everybody just to chill. But what has happened over the last 2-3 weeks, right? And on what people don't understand on this channel. We like to get on with what's going on, right? We don't like to dwell and speculate and make lies and pretend what we're in the know. We don't do that. We seriously don't do that. At the end of the day, it's simple. All of these journalists are guessing. Majority of it is a PR company representing Jim Ratcliffe, PR company that's representing Sheikh Jazim, PR company that's representing the what they call these bankers that the Glazers are put in charge to
the Rain.
The Rain Group. At the end of the day, it's all PR. Both bidders, if you want to know, and everybody else who's bid has signed the NDA. So how the F do people know how much the money that's being bid and know so close information that's like so close to what's going on? It's all a lot of tosh. All a lot of tosh. And for genuinely, I could have done this. I'm not saying that anybody reporting the news is clickbaiting, but there are journalists who are clickbaiting. There are websites, there are news aggregators, United News, who are clickbaiting because the updates are ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. At the end of the day, we are where we are. I, as a fan like you, I don't play on the emotions of the Manchester United fans. I'm not here to confuse people. At the end of the day, nobody knows nothing. And it's okay to say, I don't know. Let's all do it together. Bumpaye, Tom, I don't know.
Don't know.
We don't know. It's okay to say that. But what I'm not standing in the way, what I'm not having it, and I'm not having the Man United fan base be manipulated and emotionally wrecked. I'm not having that. And that's the reason why we're doing this show tonight, people. But we're only doing it in the first half an hour. And then the second half an hour, we're going to get to some interesting things. Hopefully, Bumbaye's picked his best five-a-side Man United all-time team. Thomas picked his best five-a-side all-time Man United team. And hopefully, Irfan will jump on as well. And we'll know his best five-a-side team as well. But just to say, we could have done a show every night talking about this, people. Every night. we could have done a show, but United Real Therapy is not that. United Real Therapy is the show that tells you, who unpacks all of this BS framing, how all of these journalists are trying to be relevant, how they all try to be the first to go, Manchester breaking news, Man United have been taken over by this and that. Nada, right? At the end of the day, stop getting played, stop having your emotions being played with, right? I predicted this. I said this from weeks and months ago. Nobody knows nothing. Everybody will know at the same time. Let's not get giddy. At the end of the day, what would happen would happen. And I've always stayed consistent and said to you, the United fans, get involved in a Not Up Anymore campaign. Get involved in letter writing or email writing to the Elliott Group, the vultures who want to jump onto this gravy train, or the other parasites with the Glazers. Do that. Get on the sponsors. When you go to the games, if you're at the games, make sure you're there. You're ready to protest. There are things to do other than twiddling our thumbs, waiting. Oh, a new update. They've made a bed. No, they haven't made a bed. Oh, I know this. Nobody knows this. I'm ADK. I know this. I know this more than anybody. I know the Sheikh's brother, a cousin, third wife, whatever. No, mate, I don't give a damn who you know, right? At the end of the day, the same journalist who told you that they both bids, and everybody who's made a bid for Manchester United has signed people an NDA. NDA means non-disclosure agreement. So that means they can't talk to nobody. But then everybody and their nan has got a PR, and everybody and their nan is clickbaiting the fans, and everybody and their nan, the journalists, is telling you what they know, and what they know is jack. They're guessing. PR, spin, framing. Don't fall for it. Save your emotions. We will know. If you guys want to do something, write emails. Get on the Elliott website, Elliott Group's website. Get on this Thomas the Clown. Get on to him. Tell him to get the F out of here with him trying to sell, start doing this new startup. That's what he's promoting. And that's what a lot of people are falling for. So tell him to get the F out of, keep Manchester United's name out of your stupid damn mouth. That's what telling every journalist as well. At the end, that's what it is. So you know where I stand, people. I could have jumped on the bandwagon, could have done a show every 5 hours and said, a new update. So and so said the new update. No, we're not doing that here. We're not. Because I ain't about playing in the emotions. If you hate the Glazers as much as we do, as much as we all do, then why would you want people bloody playing with your emotions like that? There are 100 of you in here. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Hit that notification button because it lets you know when next night. Become part of the community. We're 120 short of 7,000. Let's be having you, Therapy Army. Let's be having you. There ain't no channel like this telling you the truth. Ain't nobody telling you the truth. Nobody knows anything. Tom, how you feeling about it all? Are you worried about your lovely three course 5-star curry that I'm gonna get you to get me? Are you worried about that, pal? Are you worried about that?
Listen.
Listen. All I'm saying to you is that have you got enough money to take me out?
Nerdin.
The curry mile, mate. Have you got that?
When one of these groups comes in, mate, with the open checkbook and they write on a couple more zeros at the end of this check and they give it, mate, that's what you're going to be doing to our waiter, my guy. So don't worry about that in terms of what we're going to be doing with this meal, mate. It's all sorted, mate. I tell you what, actually, get on the Apple Pay and get reserving that table for me, Nuruddin. And I don't want sitting at the bar, mate. I want a proper VIP section and all, mate. We're not doing any of these shenanigans in Manchester, you know it is. But listen, go on, Rudy.
We're having seconds, mate.
I've said it. Listen, I've said it. Bombardus, I know that me and you have got a wager on this, haven't we? Whoever wins, we take each other a meal out. Tom said to me about 4 or 5 months ago, 3 months ago, when we heard the news, by before the summer, the club will be sold. So. And I said, right, I'll take you out for a smashed up meal, a curry mile for a lovely curry in Rusho. And if it's the other way around, I'm having a three course curry, mate, on curry mile. So let's be having you. But Tom, seriously, you as a journalist, obviously, me and you have been communicating, and you've been giving us the updates, and I've been obviously researching as well. It just what it does is that everybody does not know anything. It's all guesswork, and all of the information that they've been told have been done by the PR, whether it's coming from the Elliott group, whether it's coming from the Sheikh Jasmine group, whether it's coming from Jim Ratcliffe, whether you've got your friend and brother in arms, Thomas, coming out the woodwork, you know what I mean? Where has he been? Hiding under a rock somewhere, talking about, I am sick of European football being taken over by these people not from Europe. Why are you on about, you absolute muppet? Right? Anyway, and then you've got the people who are helping the Glazer sell, you know, the Rain Group, who have got their own PR as well. So all we're getting is PR, spin, PR. Talk to me. How have you seen this?
Personally, I don't really get what the worry is all about in this case, because overall, I look at what the Glazer family have had the opportunity to do. Like, there was a deadline. It was passed, regardless of extensions and all this other speculation that's been blown around and everything. The deadline was passed. So at that point in time, the Glazer family could have gone to Sheikh Yassim's group. They could have gone to Sir Jim Ratcliffe's group and said, nah, lads, I'm sorry, you've missed the deadline. Like, you're out. If you've not put the bid in, you've not put the bid in. And they could have chucked them out of this process and they wouldn't be here right now. But ultimately, the one thing that I've always done with any reports that I've sent to different people and different fan channels, when I've spoken to different fans and even just colleagues as well, and fellow journalists in the know and so on, when we speak about things, there's no, putting valuations on things. I will always say if it's my own prediction or my own estimation as to what a value is, because nobody knows what a true value is. Like you've already alluded to, Nurdin, an NDA is something that A, legally you can't get to, and B, it's not allowed to be discussed by any groups anyway. And if they do, then they're in the breach of an agreement and they'll get sued. So overall, they can't do these things. And ultimately, nobody knows the true valuation of the initial bids. It's expected that the bids were in the region of around £4.5 billion. That's from both groups in terms of Ratcliffe and Ineos and also Sheikh Yassim and the Qataris. But that is just an estimation, given the actual start up of that process, because that was the start. This is now, if you like, the main course of the process, where you get different groups who are going to put a more serious offer, which they expect to, because the Glazer family are going to have their eyes on these offers. They wouldn't have had their eyes on the first offers initially. These are the offers that they're more interested in, because this is where they've been given the knowledge, they've spoken to officials, they've had a look around, they've done everything that you would do if you were to buy a house. You go have a look at that, go have a look around, you evaluate the house in your own view, you look at the refurbishments, the renovations or the restructuring, and then you table your offer based upon the factors that you found. But ultimately, you've obviously had a new sort of person come into the process, which is Thomas Zilliacus, a Finnish entrepreneur. And people will look at this and think it's PR and he's not really serious about buying Manchester United and all these different factors. The thing that he's done is he is serious, but he's not made it look like he is. And what I mean by that is his initial statement where he's saying he wants to buy 50% of the club and then the fans are going to pluck up the cash. He knows that that was a wrong wording of how he's structured his statement, because he's gone to the Rain Group and he's said, I intend to bid. He has not placed an offer. He has not gone there and said, I'm bidding X, Y, Z. I'm doing this, that, the other. He's also signed a non-disclosure agreement. Therefore, if he signed a non-disclosure agreement, he's in the process. So we know this already. He is in there. However, we don't know. He's not bidded any price tag. He's just said, I intend to bid. And that satisfies the Rain Group because they have another suitor in the mix. And ultimately, he overall has now evaluated the situation. He has gone to different media outlets and spoken to different, parties, and he's been on fan channels exactly as people have been saying. I mean, in his actual statement, he left his phone number and email. Like, he left that for a reason. Ultimately, he wanted to be contacted for these sort of things, and people will say it's publicity and it's PR and everything. Yeah, that's one side of the argument. But in other words, it's also a way of saying, well, I don't want to employ a PR. I don't want to employ my own team to do that for me. I want to do it. I want to be the person who energizes what I'm about. And ultimately, able to do so, which as an individual, he is not a multi-billionaire. We know this. He isn't. But the companies and the stakes that he holds in certain assets and the contacts he has means he is eligible to actually bid in this process because he's got the people and the manpower to put a bid together. And it would be in excess of £5 to £6 billion. He has access to those funds ultimately. And overall, he's now reconsulted about what his plan is. And his plan overall, just to clarify for people, is he wants to buy the Glazer family shares of 69% of the football club. He wants to do the exact same thing as Sir Jim Ratcliffe. However, in terms of the bid that he's going to place, which he intends to place, within his bid, the debt will be included. So he wants to clear the debt from this football club, but it will be out of what his bid is, essentially, if it is to be successful. So if he is a successful bidder, preferred bidder, and this Glaze family sell to him, essentially, let's just speculate the Glaze family accepts 6 billion off of him. Whatever the debt remaining at the end of that process is, will be taken out of the eventual sale process. And then that is what the Glazer family will then be given from there as their final sort of payout, if you like. But ultimately, Thomas Zilliacus has made the point of he's going to buy he wants to buy the Glazer family shares of the football club. And then upon acquiring it is when he wants to set up the fan orientated ownership, where he wants to create an app. He wants to, let fans communicate and be a part of it. And the one thing I think we can ultimately, overall, he's done what the other groups haven't done. And he's been vocal in terms of he's not used different people within his entourage or delegation. No, he's come to the front and he said, no, this is me. And this is what I plan to do until ultimately overall.
Big up, Tom. Big up. Thank you. I'll come back to him in a minute, and I'll answer Windy Grant's questions. But big up to every one of you. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. We're 120 short of 7,000. Let's go, people. Like I said, we don't do clickbaiting in here. We just get to have an honest and open discussion and get to the crux of the matter. That's what we do in the United Real Therapy. Ain't nobody emotionally draining people. Ain't nobody confusing here. For me, all of this is predictable. It's a business transaction at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, Man United, the football club, are being caught in the middle. That's what it is. But big up to Adewale. Adewale says, whoever buys United, our summer plans are pretty much fucked up because how long the process is taking. Yeah, well, do you think the Glazers care? The Glazers don't give two its. The Glazers do not give two damn. And somebody asked me what I think about Thomas. I think Thomas is a charlatan, not in Borough 2-bit charlatan. That's my own personal opinion. I think if he was serious about this matter, this guy would have piped up months ago. Like when the news broke, he would have piped up months and months ago. When the Glazers said they're exploring investment opportunities, he would have piped up. He's piping up right now. I've done a little bit of research and I'm finding out that he's setting up a new company, some startup thing, and he just wants publicity because he wants everything to be linked, Alfie. He wants everything to be linked to his, so everybody now globally knows, because he understands that what we've got, a billion and one, I think 1.1 billion fans are globally, and he wants everybody to understand. And even the way he comes out with stuff, like him talking about, oh, I didn't like what's happening to European football clubs. Like, so where were you when Newcastle were getting bought then? Where were you when City were getting bought? Oops, where were you when Paris Saint-Germain were getting bought, pal? I don't think so, Thomas. I think you're an absolute charlatan. I think you're using Manchester United. And before I give you this fine print, keep your mouth out of Manchester United, right? Manchester United's name out of your mouth. keep Manchester United's name out of your mouth, Thomas, because you're an absolute embarrassment what you're coming out with. And the reason why you can go to the media and why you can make all these things is because you haven't signed the NDNA, because your offer's not been serious by this Rain Group. Whether it's partly investment, whether it's partly that you want whatever you want to the fans. At the end of the day, I don't believe nothing you say. You just sound like a last-minute charlatan who's just jumping on a bandwagon because you've got a new startup company or whatever you've got going on. So that's what you have. But I just want to go to Windy's question. And I want to come to you, Bombay. Of course, Bombay, I know that you've not been really following it as much in detail. And none of us have, to be fair. We've been getting on with it. We've not had time. We're playing every 3 days. So at the end of the day, but Windy Grant comes here with a very interesting proposal. So she says, can there be an agreement with the Glazers and all potential buyers for who owns the team by summer? There's an agreement amount of for the transfer, a minimum 250 million. A proper football club with a proper sellers who actually hold the fans in regard, who hold the club, who respect the club, the history, the fan base, who would want to do by right, would do something like that. But come on, we're dealing with the vultures, the parasite, the Glazers. Bombay, I'll throw it over to you.
Yeah, that's me done, bro. That's what I know about it. What? I mean, where are we up to? Last I heard was we had 2 bidders. We had the Sheikh and we had Jimmy, and they've missed the deadline. And I saw the figure of 6 billion. That's the last I heard of it. Is the club going to get sold or not?
So let me correct you. Listen,
yeah.
all of it is PR spin. Nobody knows any of the figures whatsoever. But if you don't know too much about it, I want you to concentrate on this question by Windy, right? She says, can there be any agreement with the Glazers and all potential buyers for whoever owns the team, but the club team stroke, by the summer, there's an agreed amount of summer transfers, a minimum of 250 million.
I mean, with all due respect to Wendy, Wendy's fantastic. Her contribution's really good, but how long's a piece of string, man? That's a question amongst another 10 million questions. Do you know what I mean? So Wendy, I've got nothing for you there. You better just start praying that that's the case. But what I'll do is, if the Glazers, we're trying to ascertain, what we really want to know is, do they want to really sell this club? I think part of me says, yes, they do, but it has to be something really nice. That's why they've putting it out sort of like, okay, get into a bidding war, guys. We're going to have round 1, round 2, up the ante, see how much we can draw out. But if they don't get this magnificent offer because it's simply not worth what they want for it, are they purposely pricing themselves out? Because if they end up staying, do they lose anything? That's the question here. If they end up staying and they price themselves out, they can say to us, well, we put it up for sale, but nobody's prepared to pay for it. Yeah, but nobody's prepared to pay what you're asking for it, which is unrealistic from a business point of view. So let's say that happens and then they stay. Do they lose anything? That's the question. What do you guys think? Do the Glazers lose anything at all? Or does business continue as usual and they continue to make money? Are they in a position, are they in an imposition where if something doesn't happen, then we're in deep trouble? Or if nothing changes, well, fine, that's cool.
They might lose credibility, I guess, in terms of maybe in terms of future business that they might want to endeavour in. Like, we know that they have investments in the Middle East with a cricket team and different sports that they're invested in. The Buccaneers, for example, with the NFL and things like that. Like, dealing with negotiations and contracts, given we know the major sort of story that it is with Manchester United, not only because it's the biggest club in the world, but if it does get sold, it will be a world record. Like that's a fact at the end of the day. And I think overall, if they don't go through with this, either I would say the full way through, I don't think a minority even gets them any sort of credibility out of this upon what's been preached at the end of the day, because I think they could have potentially got away with it if it was just, say, like it was only supposed to be, just a gym. Before we even knew about this Qatari thing and this, Thomas guy, like, all it was, from since they actually announced in November, all we knew was there was Sir Jim Ratcliffe there. That's all that we realistically knew, who was interested in ever trying to purchase this football club. And I think we'll all admit in saying this, a lot of us were behind him in that case because he was the only option. But suddenly, when you blow Qatar in there and you blow this new guy in, and there'll probably be I'd be surprised if there's not a mystery American group, personally, like a super consortium that's been put together of different billionaires and groups like they did with Chelsea. And ultimately, the Glazer family are either going to get two things out of it. They're either going to get what they want in terms of the price, or they're either going to effectively get what they want in terms of they get a partner out of it. So I think ultimately they're getting something. Either they're getting their biggest payday ever, or they're getting a new partner who they can work with. Whether that be, say, the Elliott Group, ultimately.
Okay, if we were to move it on just a touch, is there another option, which is we just stay? We don't get a partner that the terms are attractive.
So not even a minority one. Is that what you're saying?
I'm just saying that they stay. Is that an option?
Yeah, of course.
Let me answer that question.
So let's say on that basis, which is the worst case scenario for everybody, let's just say that. Take the fans out of it. I don't think the fans, the fans are the fans, but as the owners of Manchester United, if they simply have gone through the motions and the endeavour, whether it's a PR stunt, whatever it is, okay, sorry, like Fury Usyk, sorry, it's not happening. We couldn't come to terms. It was fine happening. We couldn't sell it. We're not getting what we want. There's no partners out there that want to shake our hands with these terms. We're just staying. We're going to roll on. If that happens, is that an imposition for the Glazers? Does it mean that they're going to lose money? Are they going to stop making money? What happens?
It just means essentially. I'll just make this one point already anyway. It just means that they're in the same situation they are now, where they won't have any income coming to redevelop the stadium or anything like that, which we know they aren't going to finance it themselves. So the money has to come from somewhere. And if they don't take even a minority group or pass the keys on to somebody else to do it, and essentially they're completely out of it forever, like if they don't do either of those two things, then they're just in the position that they are now, where they don't have the financing to do it unless they go into their own pockets, which is very probably unlikely out of all the options that we're even discussing now that they would do. So ultimately, the only thing that would probably be the same is what it is now. I don't think they would finance a lot or do anything different.
Okay, let me answer.
Okay, well, just before you give me your answer, bro. If the Glazers, if we know that the club without a new owner or a new partner is going to be a financial burden that could sap at their own personal resources, and is not going to be there won't be a profitable return going forward, even at the detriment of the club, just from a personal Glazer family taking more money out with the current status quo. If we know that, I think potential buyers will also know that these guys need to sell, that they're in a difficult position. So I think this could, on that basis, perhaps drag out a little bit longer, hardball. And they're going to show, right, we'll forget it then, we're not interested, until the Glazers say, okay. So I think that's ultimately
games being played. Listen, at the end of the day, it's games being
played.
That's why you've got the Rain Group who've got their own PR. You've got everybody who wants to try to buy the football club who've got the PR. So, but it's interesting. Alfie's gone. Alfie Kennedy, buddy, it's gone in for the hook, line, and sinker. Let me say something to Alfie. Alfie says Thomas gave details insight into the vision of the club if he buys fan-led ownership of on the United stand. Big up to the United stand. I'll say it simple, Alfie. Thomas is an absolute fraud. Thomas, like I said to you, like a rat has come out underneath a rock, right? That's what he's done, like a rat, because he's now let it be known that the Twitter trending in the UK constantly is a Manchester United takeover. The number one news in football globally is it's Manchester United supposed takeover, supposed sale. So if you got product to sell, and then you're coming out of some European Unionist saying you don't like people from Middle East or whatever coming in, they don't understand the football. Listen, save it for somebody who wants to listen. I say it, and I say it simple. The day that the Glazers have said they're exploring these options, investments, why wasn't Thomas the first one to put his hand up and go, right, fans, I'm a United fan, or I actually like Man United. I might not be a fan. I'm going to be honest with you here. I think there's a way that let's do a plan. Let's get involved. Let's get fans' involvement. Maybe we can take over this football club. What you're doing now is falling for the classic PR, classic what you do these days is attach yourself to what's going on in the news. And this Muppet has got a certain company, a startup that he's got off the ground, right? And now he's jumping on a bandwagon. Who the hell are you? What are you? And the reason why he can go to the media, like I said, because the Rain Group and the Glazers and anybody else do not see this guy as a serious guy, because he will not be allowed to speak like the way he's speaking, because he has not looked to the books. He's not signed the NDNA, non-disclosure agreement. I'm not thick. I'm not stupid. I don't claim to know everything, but I know that much. So save me all this about good vision. What are you talking about? He's a snake salesman. Bro, you need to live out here. At the end of the day, it is what it is. The Glazers have rinsed Man United of everything. Adding to the 2 years of lockdown, Manchester United in the last 3 years, even the year before that, have been losing money. They're losing 200 million, over 200 million money. Man United owning transfers 307 million. They also own 550 million to the banks, right? So in all of that, it's nearly $1 billion. Man United need a proper infrastructure in terms of the stadium. Man United need a new stadium. The women's and the youth don't have a stadium in Manchester. Manchester United need loads of development. At the end of the day, I'm sorry to say, but the Glazers have to, you can only, and we've said this, we've reported it on this channel, and a lot of people have been talking about it. A lot of you have talked about it, and we've said it from day one. Glazers have been looking for an investment for a long time. The people who bought Newcastle have come out and said that Glazers offered them 30% of Manchester United, right, silent partner, for 700 million. And they said, for a big silent partner, you want 700 million when they bought Newcastle for a 300 million. It's crazy. It's laughable. So at the end of the day, they need an investment. And I've always said, Glazers, the biggest thing for me is these vultures are never going to let the club go there. And that's why I don't believe it. I've never believed it. Go ahead.
Question, following up. So let me just confirm that. 700 million, 30% silent partner. Is that what we're saying?
That's what the Saudi Arabian offer was.
So what that means is the club's valuation was 2.2 billion.
2 years ago, yeah.
Right, on that basis, 2.2 billion on that basis.
Listen,
so
I'm going to tell you.
potential...
I'm going to tell you now. Now, Bombay, listen, I'll explain to you. I'll save you this now. The current, we're talking about market value for Manchester United is about 3 billion. 3 to 3.5. That's what it was. It was 3.75 or close to 4 billion? That was the market value, looking at the fan base being one of the biggest clubs in the world. But the losses that they're happening. So the idea that Glazers are going to get 6 million just like that is laughable. And we said it from day one on this channel. We said it. But big up Clip Bailey. He said the fight continues. They sell to Qatar. Right? Irfan, I want to bring Irfan in. How you doing, bro? How you feeling?
I'm good. Yourself?
You feeling a bit
Evening
better?
now.
Oh, good guys. No, I'm okay. Look, I got
You're getting
there.
better. You're getting better.
I got there.
I don't know how much you've been following it.
I've been listening to the whole thing.
No. I'm talking about this. I'm talking about this, the whole kind of like
saga.
it's like
I wouldn't say. I go a various. Obviously, I might check under the fan channel. I go on Twitter, then I go to the broadsheets. I try to grasp as much information as I can. But like I said, we're dealing with just massive amounts of speculation. We're dealing with a lot of clickbaitry, like you said, Nuruddin. Nobody really knows, but one thing we all agree on is this. The word is F, and it begins. Usually there's this K in it, but then there's an ERY. Yeah, I'll let you work the word out. Yeah, that's going on with the Glazers is symptomatic of who they are. They are greedy hustlers who are the way they run the club and run it into the ground. Now they're just showing who they really are by the way they're running this process to sell the club. It's absolute joke, but it's in line with who they are. It's absolutely in line with who they are. They are the greediest, most disgusting owners a club could even think of dealing with. And like I said, we've had how many years of it? Is it 19 years now?
Yeah, 18 years.
18 years of it. So let's be honest, it got ugly. It was going to end ugly, and it's ending ugly right now. This is the bottom line. And when these Finnish billionaires come in with their joke policies and stuff like that, everyone's loving it because everybody wants content. Everyone wants, to get the chat. It's like gossip kit going round and round and round and round and round. Yeah. And they're all loving it because they've all got their own agendas. This guy's got his own agenda. The Qataris have got theirs. Radcliffe's got his. Man United's got theirs. Glazer's got theirs. I mean, imagine there's some major infighting going on between that family at the moment. Major. I mean, like I said, what was Chelsea sold for again?
2.3 billion initially, but then they put all the investment up. So on the balance
investment of 2 billion.
On the balance
what was the actual sale of the club? What was the actual sale figure?
2.3 billion for the club.
Right. So
it was 2.3 billion, but Irfan, with a further 2 billion spent on infrastructure, players, all the rest of it. That's
that's obviously because they had to do that legally because the government was involved in everything. In this case, they could sell it to any Tom, Dick, or Harry. They could sell it to United Real Therapy, and they don't need to know what our plans are, just so long as you offer them the most money, essentially. So that's the difference in this case. But
I mean, it's such a strange one because, like I said, they're hoping for the biggest payday that they can imagine in their lives, right? And it's going to be the biggest payday ever. And they're looking at, obviously, like you said, it was 2 billion plus 2 billion in add-ons that they've got to sell. So it's basically like 4 billion. Yeah. Now, I'm not surprised by the fact that they want 6 billion. Like the Avram and Joel are digging their heels and say, I want 6 billion. I understand that because I understand how greedy these people are. I get it. And I think they're going to hustle as much as they can, like the way they got hold of the club till they get that 6 billion. Right. But the thing is here, when you think about what they've done and what they're prepared to do, is the fact that they're even prepared to embarrass themselves so badly by saying it's on, it's off, it's on, it's off, trying to these guys will keep it going for as long as they need to be to get the money they want. They're not going to stop. I don't understand why people are surprised by this. But look, let's be honest about this, right? British clubs, as you know, I don't know whether you know, Tom, but there's a liability act put in place many years ago, right? Which basically said English clubs are businesses, right?
True.
So we're open, excuse the pun, but everything's open. The backside is open for any corporation to come in and do what the hell it wants to English football. And this is how the English system works. Now you put that together with the socios in Spain and the 50+1 rule in Germany, right? You just put those together, right? And realize how much more we are like, considering we're a European country, our laws are so much closer to the American corporatization of all culture and, of everything in comparison to the, dare I say, more socialist model of the socios and the 50+1 rule in Germany, right? And it shows when you hear what the fans have got to say, because the fans have got no idea, most of them, about how the social model works and how the 50+1 rule works. But the bottom line is both of them are under pressure because the fans have some sort of say in what goes on. But in Britain, it doesn't matter. You can bring as many sheikhs as you want, as many, billionaires who've looted the country of Philippines, Singapore, whatever. You can buy it no day long. And I've told you, I've repeated this many, many times over. London is the money laundering capital of the world. And this is why we're allowed to have vultures like the Glazers come and destroy, one of the greatest sporting, institutions in the world, and definitely in Britain. It's amazing. I'm still amazed that these guys got hold of the club, and tell you the truth, and there was no government intervention. So regarding it in terms of where this is going to go, the way I see it, it's going to go on and on and on, backwards, forwards, backwards, right, until these guys get something close to what they want. And I actually think the Qataris and Jim Ratcliffe are probably already fed up. They're probably already fed up with it, right? But like Nuruddin's on the money regarding this clickbaitery about this fans and stuff, all this kind of this Finnish guy wants 100 billion people to put £3 in. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's absolutely a joke. It's the biggest joke. But hustlers, they smell this stuff. They smell it a mile off. I'm going to give it a shot. I'm surprised even more haven't come out of the woodwork. I'm surprised, and let's be honest, because they see how England and Britain allows these things to happen. They're all going to come in. It's a free for all. I mean, I don't know. I'd love to know what people in Germany and Spain have got to say about what's going on with the Glazers. I'd love to get their opinion.
They don't like it. The Spanish clubs don't like it anyway, because essentially the Premier League has been, well, in matter of respects, has been labelled the new Super League because the money, the competition's there. The only difference is in the Premier League you can get relegated and you can get promoted to it. That's the only difference, aside from the proposal of the Super League. Yeah. And like you've just said there, with ownership in this country, you had the Glazer family, you had the Cronkays at Arsenal, and you had FSG at Liverpool, all Americanized ownerships, who were running the Super League for the English clubs. And it was funny how the two clubs that were owned by either oil barons or oligarchs at the time in Chelsea and City, they felt like, I don't know if we should join this. I don't know if we need to get into it. PSG didn't do it, and they're owned by Qatar, did they not, at the end of the day? And it's put them in a stronger position with UEFA because they didn't. And like you said, even with Bayern and Dortmund, for example, in that case, they didn't go for it, and they're fan-orientated ownership clubs.
Tom, but Bayern have tried. You see, Rummenigge doesn't like it. He says that Germany's been left behind by all these endless pits of money that the Premier League
has in terms of money,
he doesn't like it. I'm sure Real Madrid have tried to break away from the social rule. They tried to, because again, this lot are worried about of the lack of investment. They can't compete in terms of investment.
No.
And this is the thing, you see. I can understand if you're from a different league, like the German league or the Italian league or whatever league, or with any kind of sort of social based fan model, and you're looking at America, at these American billionaires or whoever, or these sheikhs, coming into England, buying them for silly money, and then spending billions on becoming the best club in the world. I can understand that. I don't understand why there's such a thing as financial fair play. If you haven't got financial fair play regarding owners, I don't get it. It makes no sense to me. I just don't get it at all. So look, the bottom line is, the sad truth about Man United is, and this is the really depressing part, is the fans don't really give a damn, to tell you the truth. All the fans want is success. And all I'm seeing from what I watch on Twitter and everything else and all the fan channels is that they just want the richest we can get. They just want the richest owners we can have, so we can outspend everyone and get our way to the top. That's all fans. That the average fan, that's what they're all thinking. And I don't care if they say, "Oh, I don't think that," because that's what I see. They don't care. United fans don't care if we win with.
Do you think they sell the way, fan? I'll throw the questions here. Do you think the Glazers will sell ultimately, whether it's now or whenever?
If they get that 6 billion, they will. I definitely think they will. That's what they hold on. They're not going to get another payday like this, Tom. They're not just not going to get one.
This is what I tried to say.
This is all their Christmases rolled in one. This is what it is. And they're trying to tell. I can imagine Joel and Avram saying to the sisters, "Listen, you dumb idiots! Don't you understand? We're never going to get this. This will be wealth beyond your wildest dreams, and we've got to hold out for it. Like our dad told us what to do, etc." I can imagine the conversation that's going on at home, right? But the bottom line is this circus that Man United are in goes on and on and on. And I'm amazed it doesn't affect the manager and the players. I'm amazed. And here we are, the laughing stock again. You know, just when you think it couldn't get any worse, you know, we've suffered a 7-0 hammering. We've been through so many troughs at the moment, yeah. And here we are, another one. This continues. So I cannot wait for these guys to go. I just can't wait. But we are opening ourselves to more misery, more depression if you're a hardcore Man United fan, because we have got these disgusting owners, absolutely disgusting. The fact that they don't even care, the fact that it's not even hidden or anything, or like it's just out in the open, it shows you these people don't care about one, not even like a neutron or an atom or anything about Man United. They don't care at all. It is just a cash cow that they can just rinse and rinse and rinse all day long. And the fans are clueless, because if the fans understood the civility of the social model or the 50+1 model, we'd have a different people. But we're not that kind of country. We're not that kind of people. You look at what's happening in France right now. The fact that the king has decided not to go and the queen, right? And you look at what they're doing for their rights, and you look at us lot just being bent over all day long, being screwed by corporations all day long. And I'm sorry, this is the politics of football. This is how it works. The politics allow us to be bent over and be owned by these massive corporate billionaires that can come and rinse the club dry and just step on fans. That's just how it is. You have to talk about how the politics works in ownership, but this is how it is.
Listen, at the end of the day, we are where we are, people. My only thing is to you. I know a lot of this is emotional for a lot of you. I know you want the parasites gone. You want the vultures to F off. But do not get clickbaited. It's all PR spin from the Rain Group, from Jim, from Jasmine, from Elliot, from this other guy, this rat that's crawled out of this underneath this rock this week. It's coming out chatting absolute shite because it's got something to promote. At the end of the day, it's where it is. But Evan, I'm going to stay with you quickly. No, actually, who's got there? Shall I go first? Because you know what? At the end of the day, like somebody said,
before you even ask the question, where did this idea of United 5-a-side team come? I was thinking about it today, and I thought, what a random.
It's always been a fan. It's always been a discussion throughout the years. Who's your favorite 5-a-side team? Yeah.
Tom, have you heard this before?
Yeah, I've heard it at other clubs.
Efan, Google it. Efan, go and Google it. Google it for a minute.
I know.
I find it a bit of an abstract talking about 11-a-side.
They always ask the players, Efan. They always ask the players.
Who would you have in a 5-a-side if you when you
I've got an idea, but I was thinking about it a little bit more today. I was thinking about it because I played 5-a-side a lot. Nuruddin played 5-a-side a lot. It's an interesting. You could look at this many different ways.
Okay,
but I think I've got my 5.
Listen, I'm going. So do you want me to go first, guys?
You go first.
Yeah, go on. Go ahead. Go on.
Yeah, I'll go first. So for me, it was easy. It was the easiest easy. Van der Sar in goal.
Yep.
Van der Sar in goal.
Yep.
100%, no doubt whatsoever. And then is the two of the greatest centre halves I've ever seen play for Manchester United in my lifetime. Jaap Stam and Rio Ferdinand.
Wow.
One that goes all out, powerful, aggressive. Another one who's used to just tackle you standing up, read the play, nick it from you, was comfortable on the ball. And then in front of them is the ginger nugget, mate. There's only one Paul Scholes. The two, I could have gone for any different combinations, but the two that I've gone for.
You got one more?
No, that's 3.
That's 3. He's got 3. He's got Scholes.
Van der Sar, hang on. Van der Sar, Stam.
You 2 centre, yeah, there's 4.
You've only got 1
more. You've got
one more left.
Damn it. Should have told
you. Messed up there.
Yeah, easy, yeah.
No.
Yeah, easy.
Okay.
Get one centre out.
I tell you what.
You know what?
Drop one of the centre.
You know what? If I can't pick the 2, no. Listen, if I can't pick the 2, it's simple. With that team, Paul Scholes' favourite striker that he played with at Man United was Van Nistelrooy. So I'm going to put Van Nistelrooy. Okay. Because, not that I think, because to me, I would have all day put Dwight York and Andy Cole. Because they were the 2 most successful in Manchester United history. 2 of the strikers. That season, they led us to the treble. Those 2 guys led us to the treble. They would have been. But I'm going to go for Nistelrooy because it's Paul Scholes' favorite.
My team is going to tear your boys apart, bro.
That's my team. It's simple. You ain't gonna get. None of you's ever gonna get that partnership centre. Right?
All right.
None
Wait a second. Wait. Let's just
Wait.
None of these come close to me. None of you will ever pick Paul Scholes, because if you don't go Scholes, then I don't know what you're doing in a five-a-side.
Don't influence the choices.
Listen.
You need to be able to keep the ball. And if you ain't picked the guy who finishes the first half a chance, then I don't know what you're doing. But go ahead. I'm happy to hear. My team is undefeated. But go ahead, people.
Go on, Bombay. You go next.
Go on, Mr. Bombay. Go on.
Listen, just, you know what I mean? I'm sorry. I'm going to tear your team a new one now. Schmeichel. Scholes.
No. Bombay. I'm gonna reject that. Let me just set what there is. You pick a goalkeeper.
No. Sorry, no.
No.
I'm not doing that.
Pick two defenders. You have to in a five-a-side. You need to have two defenders.
No way. No, you don't. No, you don't. No. Sorry.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
You don't.
Who the hell? Who? Why do I want? Mate, nobody's touching Nobody is touching the ball.
That's what happens when you play football five-a-side. It's the closest, most realistic.
No.
Sorry. Give me a moment. Let me explain. Anytime I've played five-a-side, we've always had two defenders. One of them that was good on the ball. One of that was just defended. We had a goalkeeper. We had somebody who's good at passing. And then we had somebody who can finish. I'm sorry, that's the most realistic way to play.
Nah. When I play five-a-side, bro.
You know who I would have picked? You know who I could have picked? Yeah. If you would have said, if it wasn't for real and in that structured way, I could have picked us Cantona.
Listen, bro.
And then
this is for real.
You know what I've had as a goalkeeper? Van Nistelrooy as a goalkeeper.
Nurdin. Chill.
No. Listen. Do you want to redo that dry team?
What's your formula? How do you play it?
Forget about
it. Do you know when we play five-a-side?
Let's just pick five.
Do you know when we play five-a-side?
Let him pick his five. Go on.
When we play
five. We don't need explanation. Just pick your five.
Play five-a-side. Not asked about that. We all know how to man mark, defend, all that stuff. I'm talking about five-a-side. Yeah. Do you want to redo your team?
No,
I don't, because I've gone for the most realistic five-a-side team.
Just give us yours.
I'm giving you my five-a-side team.
I played five-a-side for a decade. I gave the most realistic five-a-side. You always had two defenders who stayed at the back. You always had one of them who's putting the ball, who come into midfield now and again. And then you've got somebody who can pass the ball and can dictate and keep hold of the ball. And then one who can finish. That's the one you have.
While your boys, listen, while your boys are trying to play offside trap and five-a-side, all four of my boys are going to be banging goals from their own half.
There's no offside trap. There is no offside trap.
Listen, I'll give you my five. I'll give you my five. I'll give you my five.
It's five. Go on.
Listen, Schmeichel, Scholes, Ronnie, Rooney, and King Eric, bruv. That's the team. Yap Stan is going to be breathing out of his ass after 10 minutes, bro. It's done. Is he muted?
Your formation. Tell me your formation. Who you're playing goalkeeper and who's playing next to the goalkeeper?
Bro, I just tell him, listen, without the ball, man mark, when you've got the ball, I don't need to tell you what to do. Do your business.
That's not realistic. Fair play to you. Irfan, I'll go to you next.
My five, right, okay. I'm going to go for Van der Sar net. Stam is my defender. Let me think. This is a tough one. I'm struggling in the midfield. My striker's definitely going to be Van Nistelrooy. In the middle of the park. I'm going to go for Giggs. I've never got now. I've got Van der Sar,
4,
Stam, Giggs, Van Nistelrooy. I'm allowed one more player, aren't I?
One more, yeah.
Oh gosh, this is tough. This one.
So what have you got? Yap Stam, Van
Yep.
Nistelrooy, Scholes.
Yep. No.
Van der Sar.
I haven't got Scholes. I've got Giggs.
Giggs and Van der Sar.
I've got Giggs. Yeah.
Giggs, Van der Sar, and who else? Van Nistelrooy.
Van Nistelrooy.
Stam.
And Stam. And I need one more player. I'm just thinking. Shit.
In a five-a-side, I'm absolutely bemuffled that you don't pick Paul Scholes.
No.
It's that to me is dumbfounded. But
No. Listen, I understand why, Nuruddin. I understand why you need that guy to gel everything together. I get that. I get why you've done it. I get why you've done it. I get why you've done it.
No, go ahead.
I get why you've done it. I just think, I'm going to go for Giggs because I understand that midfield's important.
I
got one more. I'm just trying to think of. This is a hard one to think of my other player.
All right, we'll come back to you, Tom. Have you got your team ready?
What? So what? Irfan gets by on a technicality? No.
Wait.
Still thinking. We ain't got time for that.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to see what I'm going to do. Nuruddin, I'm going for Van Persie as well. I'm going to put two strikers up there. I'm going to go for Van Persie as well.
Fair dues.
It's unrealistic, but go ahead. Go on, Tom.
Right. Let's go for Mr. Schmeichel in net. Let's not waste any time. Yep, Stamp. I'm choosing a centre half and I'm choosing a fullback. And then I'm going to choose a midfielder and an attacker. So I'm choosing Yap Stamp.
Realistic, Tom. Well done. That's more realistic.
hang on. I'm choosing Yap Stamp. I'm going to choose Dennis Irwin.
Yeah.
I'm going to choose midfielder. I'm going to choose Roy Keane,
Yeah.
I'll go Roy Keane, and then I'll go King Eric.
So who have you got?
I've got Schmeichel, Irwin, Stam, Keane, and Cantona.
Okay.
Right. Wow.
I'm ready for war, boys.
Listen, you know that team?
Keane's going to lose his shit, Tom. It's going to be over. First round knockout.
You know that team, Tom? That team is going to be winning the ball back straight away. Two Irishmen are very aggressive. Stam very aggressive, winning it back as soon as they lose it. And then you've got the technicality of Cantona. And who else did he say?
Dennis Irwin.
And Dennis Irwin. And they both used to combine badly. But I'm sorry, guys. Go on, Irfan. You finish your fifth now. We'll come back to you. You had the time.
No, I went for a super attacking line. I told you. I've got Giggs, Van Nistelrooy, and Van Persie, right? And I've got Stam, and I've got Van der Sar. Mine's pretty Dutch, as who said? Somebody said my team was pretty Dutch.
Okay, my team bats all your teams. I'm really sorry.
Peter Griffith said. What?
Maybe,
maybe.
My
you
team.
know what five-a-side's like, Nuruddin?
I'm sorry.
You know what five-a-side's like. You know what five-a-side is like.
Listen, you've got the best vision, best deft touch vision, and then you got one of the best finishers.
But I've got the two best finishers. I've got three finishers. I've got three.
But when you lose the ball, Irfan, you're not winning it back straight away. Your boys are panting. Back in the day, the players that you've got,
are you crazy?
Never pressed that as hard. They're panting the life of.
All your teams are getting a red card against my team.
Let me say this: Paul Scholes is a red card waiting to happen. I will say
he is. Can't tackle to save his life.
The reason why I put two defenders in because Paul, I just want you to keep hold of the ball. Don't lose it when you've got it. Right, right. That's why I have done it. So,
I'm not sure he's quick enough for five-a-side. I'm not sure if it's quick enough.
You kidding me? He's got vision. He's got eyes on the sides, on the back, everywhere. Van der Sar, and then I've got the perfect rear third. Then I'm stepping into midfield to help out and win the ball back. Yap Stam win the ball back all day, and then I've got Van der Sar up front. I'm sorry, undefeated. But let the chat decide. So I say my team again, then you say your team again, guys. I'll say my team again. It's Van der Sar. It's Rio Ferdinand and Stam. Rio Ferdinand can play midfield. Has played in midfield in his early career. And then I've got Paul Scholes and Van Nistelrooy. That's my five. Irfan's Van Nistelrooy, Van Persie, Giggsy, Stam, and Van der Sar.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah. The only difference in my team and yours is you've gone for Scholes in the middle. I've gone for Giggs in the middle. I'm all attack. Beat your lot 10-0, Nuruddin.
No chance. Absolutely no chance. Of course. Are you kidding me, Ed? Of course I'm doing it. Tom, say your team, Tom. Your team's the closest realistic team to mine anyway. But go ahead, Tom.
Tom's is a bit too old school for me. I don't see them as like the fastest athletes to do the job.
Listen, we'll do your boys dirty. What do you mean?
100%.
They won't be walking out there with 2 legs.
No word of a lie.
Your boys, who's managing your team's Conte? What are you going to do? Put a wall up?
I'm not lying to you. Your team will get battered by Tom's team. Hands down. Hands down.
I'm tearing goals in there. I'm telling you. Oh,
hands down. Your boys are getting battered because Sherwin, Roy Keane, and Stam not getting past them, mate.
I've got Schmeichel, Irwin, Stam, Keane, and King Cantona.
There you go.
That's my team.
You got the flair as well.
It's an interesting one. The more you think,
Bumbaye's got the most unrealistic team. Go ahead, Bumbaye. You got
Schmeichel. You've got Schmeichel, right? Just telling everybody they're terrified to make a mistake. It's all going to be seamless, crisp. Scholes, one touch. Rooney, technical as you like. Ronnie, giving you that inside, Stam falls on his ass. Bang! Get in there. Cantona, bro. Just caressing that shit to both of them killers on the side. Where are your team going against my team? I want to know. It's 5-a-side. You're getting bashed. No, I don't know what you guys have picked, man.
No chance.
It'd be mad though. You imagine all these players in their prime playing against each other. It'd be mad, isn't it? It'd be mad to see that.
You've got no defense, mate. Let the chat decide, mate. Let the chat decide.
Your team is super defensive. I agree.
No, it's not super defensive. I've got one defender and somebody who can step into midfield, help out, win the ball back. 5-a-side, you have to win the ball back, mate. If you haven't got the ball, you ain't doing
as soon as Ronnie and Rooney and Eric.
Ronaldo's never, listen, with Ronaldo, you might as well play with 4. Because he's never chasing nobody back. Ain't nobody chasing people back, mate. Nobody. Let me just get to this. Look at Aduale. Aduale says, Van der Sar, Rio, Pogba, Scholes, Rooney. That's a good team. That's a realistic team.
That team's falling apart in the dressing room, boys. That team ain't making out the dressing room. Paul's going to destroy it.
Rio, Pogba, Scholes, Rooney. Interesting. That's a good team. That's a good team. I just don't think it's that defensively sound, though. Yeah.
Who we going for in the
side,
chat?
mate. When your attackers get tired, you need people to be able to defend, mate.
Schmeichel, Stam, Vidic. That was a decent one as well.
Make sure you put Paul on the left-hand side of the midfield. He can't play on the right. Don't forget.
No, I will never play partner bus football, Peter Griffin. Never. Like I said, Rio playing.
What do you mean? You're playing Simeone.
I know you got.
What is this team? It's 5-a-side, man.
No, I haven't. At the end,
what's gonna happen to your
boy? People who can win the ball back and who are comfortable on the ball. Rio
Van Nistelrooy is going to be
comfortable on the ball.
You're not going to have the ball for more than 1 second.
If you Yap Stam, if you're Ronaldo with twinkle toes and all of that business, you ain't getting a shot off, mate. That Dutchman is going to get in the way, mate. He's going to get in the way.
If you're playing,
my team, and you know what?
Listen,
when my team gets a chance, good night, Vienna. Good night,
brother.
Vienna.
You better hope these 5-a-side rules allow overhead height. You're going to be hitting long balls to Rude. He's going to be isolated there doing nothing.
Close goals, long balls, no chance.
Oh, dear.
Close goals going to slip you in all day, mate. All day.
I mean, oh, no. Oh, dear.
Big up, man. I see good teams, man. Nuri, man. Oh, no, cheek.
Telling you, man, anti-football, man.
Jose, no chance. Big up Airfan and Tom. I don't know what's happened to the stream, but honestly, your team, the first 5 minutes, they gassed out. Ronnie, who else have you had to team? Ronnie, who else has a
CR7 is gonna murder 5-a-side. What are you on about?
Listen, Rooney ain't gonna gas out. Rooney's a good player. He's not gonna gas out. He's gonna run for you. Who else is gonna run for you in that team? Ronaldo ain't never running for you.
No, bro. You just need. Do you know who you're missing? Rory Delap for the long throws, like Barbaro Helmus saying it was.
No chance, mate. Mine is the most realistic. When I think about it, I played 5-a-side. You always had two guys who were solid, who can be really good, who can pass the ball, who can move into space. But you had the midfield guy who was a gem, who can move the ball, who can shift it. And then you had the killer striker up the park. I'm sorry, that's where it was. Big up Claire. Smash a like for Claire, our kid. Listen, don't you worry, Claire. Unwell. Sending you universal healing energy, Claire. Sending you lots of love.
Big up Claire, man. Big up Claire.
Claire, you might be unwell, but guess what? Man United, I'm not lost. You've had an international break, and you're doing all right. Shit out England. It could have been 3-0 up in the first half. Second half, it could have been 3-2 to Italy. Oh, God. Don't even get me started what Harry Maguire was doing. Big up. Big up.
Yes, big up Malcolm. Big up Malcolm, man.
Big up to everybody. Listen, Nuruddin is proper defensive. How am I proper
defensive? I'm telling you, Dino, what is this 5-a-side?
How am I proper defensive? Are you kidding me? How am I proper defensive? I've got a guy.
Can you imagine, right? Listen. We've done an advertisement, yeah? No, bro. We've done an advert, yeah? And we're looking at the sales. And somebody's going to turn up to watch a 5-a-side team of Van der Sar, Stam, Rio, Scholes, and Rude. Or somebody's putting out Schmeichel, Scholes, Cristiano, Rooney, and Eric. Come on, brother, man.
Nah, mate. They're gassed out. That front three are gassed out straight away. And then your two, the two at the back are getting roasted. They're getting absolutely roasted. I've gone for
you're not good. Your boys are not touching the ball.
Listen,
you're not touching the ball in this.
What are you talking about not touching the ball? Do you think you're touching the ball with my team? They're going to bump you around that pitch, mate. Scholes is going to bump you around that pitch, mate. You ain't getting the ball of Paul Scholes.
Oh, dude.
How are you getting the ball of Paul Scholes?
It's Simeone here, bro. Simeone's coming.
Oh, no. I'm telling you now, I've only got the deadliest finisher in Man United history. I've only got one of the greatest midfielders in his generation. I've only got the best defender to block shots all day. And I've only got a defender who's so comfortable on the ball, he's coming to midfield. I'm going to a final if it's a tournament, and I'm winning. I'm winning. I don't concede a lot of goals, and I'm banging in, bang, goal after goal.
As soon as the first round, do you know what's happening? You're getting pelted with tomatoes and cucumbers. That's what you're getting because you can't put two passes together. Defending for your lives. That's what you're doing.
You've lost the plot. You are absolutely lost the plot. Listen, big up to you guys. Big up to everybody. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. You got it. Getting roasted. Nuruddin, you're a class. Honestly, it is the way it is. I look at what I said. Rio can play midfield. Stam, you ain't never getting past him. It takes two people to get past him, right? And then you've got Scholes, who you're not getting the ball off.
Do you know who nobody put in?
Gonna bang it in.
Do you know who no one put in, bro? Georgie Best. 5-a-side, man.
Well, you know what it is? It's because none of us have seen him playing it. All the players that I put in, I've seen every one of those play for Man United.
Yeah.
That's what we've gone for, really. Romero, Rojo, Di Maria, Varane, Tevez. Oh, now Ed's gone for the Argentinian. Ooh, Argentinian. Can we pick quickly, me and you, Bombay, let's see if we can pick a national team, 5-a-side for United.
What? Just English players?
Just English, yeah. So for me, Scholes, Beckham, Rooney,
Rio, Giggs.
No, Giggs is Welsh, mate. Last time I checked.
Right, look, sorry, definitely Scholes has to go there, 100%.
Yeah, Scholes, Giggs, Scholes, Beckham, Rooney.
Bro, I've got bad news. I've got bad news for you. We've got no keeper. Got no keeper, man.
You know what? The keeper can be. You know what? The keeper can be from somewhere else.
All right, fine.
Oh, so keeper would be amazing.
Burbs, man. You know what? He was a sick player, honestly.
Berbatov would be amazing.
Yeah, man. Do you know? I always think if we were ever going to do another statue for a player, I always think Eric should be the one.
100%. What a player.
I can't see. I just don't see. He is the iconic Manchester United Ferguson era catalyst, spark that lit the flame. Everything about him, and just as a human being, I love everything that he stands for, man. You know, everything that he did in his career for me was just fate to play to this guy's genius, man. His uniqueness, his greatness, busting up the hooligan, the you know, the
Nazi,
interview,
the Nazi, beating up the Nazi, mate.
Nazi, yeah, he was a Nazi, the fucker. The interview with the Seagulls, everything about him that he did, man. He was the Don. I love that.
Now listen, if Man United were owned by proper owners, Cantona statue would be there 100%. You know, the other night, I found a clip of that season where he scored, where he won us the league, where I think 7 games he scored 1-0 Cantona. Every game was 1-0 Cantona.
Yeah.
Malcolm, we don't need Pickford. No, we don't want Pickford. By the way, Van der Sar is my favourite keeper. I thought Schmeichel for me was overrated, me personally. Van der Sar for me was the calmest guy, never shouted, calm, made some amazing saves, saved amazing penalty in the Champions League final. Brilliant. Cantona for me is one of my favourite players of all time. All time at Man United.
Yeah, Claire said it. Look at that. You know what I mean? Cantona brought sexiness to football.
Dennis Irwin is for me the greatest left back in Premier League history by absolute miles.
He's ahead of his time, Dennis Irwin.
He had the best balance of being the most defensively amazing and attackingly wise. Oh my God. Oh my God. The FIFA generation you don't know.
There's an iconic goal where he passes it to Cantona. Cantona side foot dink over.
Outside of the boot.
Bam. Licks it in.
Inside, finishes it with his right foot. Inside the post. Yeah, you can't beat about it. Listen, big up to every one of you. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Listen, 100% Cantona to post a statue needs to be a celebration in front of the Leeds fan. Now, 100%, 100%. Cantona with his colours up, 100%.
Colours
if you're
up,
gonna do a statue with Cantona, you've got to do the statue with him putting his colours up like that. Putting his colours up. That's what you need to do. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. We're 120 away from 7,000 people. Let's go, people. We said to the end of March, can we get to at least, 100 subscribers by the end of March? Come on, people. We've got 2 weeks left. Let's do it. And then smash a like on the video. It costs you absolutely nothing. We give you the best 5. We give you the best 5. Those of you watch this video later, get in the comments. Let us know whose 5-a-side was the best. Mine were defensive, by the way. They were not defensive. Agree, I think Cantona icon aura around deserves one. Could even Ronaldo because of his contribution United to the sport of football. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Big up to every one of you. Subscribe to the channel, people. So I just want to go quickly. Big up to Tom Journalist. Well, make sure you give him a follow. If you want to follow me on Twitter, that guy Red Devil, Mr. Structure. And if you follow Irfan Rainey at Irfan Rainey. You can follow him on Instagram, music, and then on Twitter is a lot of politics. So go and check him out as well. But yeah,
you can find me, people, doing attacking drills, teaching Dino's 5-a-side team how to bang a goal.
with Scholes and with Van Nistelrooy, no chance. They don't need any banging, mate. They're on
that poor guy, do you know what's going to happen to him? He's just going to get pissed off and walk off. You can't get the ball here. There have been 2 defenders defending for our lives.
No chance. One defender, 2 midfielders, 1 attacker, mate. Sorted. That's how it is. O'Shea. Yeah. There we go. Rondo's coming the best.
Back
the Irish. O'Shea, Irwin, Keane, Best, Stapleton. That's a really good team. That's a really good team.
Man, the Irish vibe there will be difficult there, man. Tough to beat. Yeah, man.
Yeah. There you go. Bombay, yeah. People are siding with you. Eric, always in my heart. Like and subscribe, people, and we'll leave you. Enjoy the rest of your night on your weekend. Because Man United ain't going to ruin it. Manchester United ain't going to ruin your weekend. I promise ya. Irfan's back. Irfan, let the Pope.
I just got a call from London. That's all. Sorry about that. Go on.
It's all good, man. It's all good. It's all good, bro. Let the people know where they can find you, bro.
You find me chilling these days. No, just a Twitter for politics and Instagram for music. And actually, more politics. I'm putting a lot more politics on Instagram these days. I think the biggest problem with all this stuff.
Be careful. They don't shadow ban you. You know what shadow banning is?
Not really, no.
So shadow banning is like I am shadow banned on Facebook because of why I post political stuff that I post on Facebook. Only certain people will ever see it. And if I post anything about social media or anything about sport or music or stuff like that, culture. So on my Facebook, politics is shadow banned. On Instagram is really bad for it. So if you wanted to post stuff about Palestine and
has anyone ever written? Has anyone who's a journalist? Anyone
all you have to do Google it. Irfan, just Google what was done to political hashtags on Instagram. What's being done to it.
So all my stuff about Palestine doesn't go anywhere.
No, I'm saying to you that they shadow ban it. That means that they turn it down. That not many people see it.
So the algorithm works in a slightly different way. Is that what you're saying?
Say that again? Yeah,
the algorithm works.
Irfan, I
think what it means, Irf, is that you're semi-censored, so the audience that it should hit is significantly reduced because of the algorithm. Anything associated with Palestinian causes.
You use Instagram. You never knew what happened to all those models, like what they call the Palestinian sisters.
Gigi Hadid, yeah?
Yeah, and all of them. What happened to them? And everybody that was talking about Palestine on Instagram. Instagram total shutdown on shadow banned it all. Crazy. I can't believe you've not heard of it. Big up
via Zuckerberg and Israeli state. Is that what you're talking about?
Bro, they do it already to the activists in Palestine. What do you think they're not going to do with that? It was all over the news. I don't know where you've been.
No, I must have missed the story.
Man, this conversation could so easily now just drift into a political, political thing with everything that's happening. But let's not.
I need to go and watch my series on. I need to start watching.
Hang on, someone asked me this question about what do you think about my Irish side? Yeah.
Yeah, the Irish side is good. It was Irwin,
Stapleton,
Keane,
Best, Keane, Irwin,
Stapleton.
Yeah.
Wow, we're going back there. Wait a second. Stapleton that used to play for Arsenal and then joined Man United. You got Frank Stapleton. You guys are too young to remember him, man. You don't remember Frank Stapleton, you boys. You Johnny come late.
I've seen the games.
I've never seen him. I know the name.
You didn't even know.
No, Irfan, listen.
Who else was there? Who else was there?
No, Irfan, I say it as simple. Now and again, I go to IT34, and guess what's on there?
But the old games. What's
the commentator called? Something more.
Brian Moore.
Yeah, the big match. And I watched some United games from the 1970s.
Dickie Davis and I think it was Brian Moore. Yeah.
Anyway,
what was the Irish team again? It was McGrath.
No, it was O'Shea, Irwin, Keane, Best, Stapleton.
Yeah.
No goal.
So wait a second. Wait a second. That's Northern Ireland and Ireland era.
Yeah.
So it's not Ireland because there's no such thing as United Ireland yet, is there?
No. Well, in our hearts and minds there is.
In the hearts and minds. Well, I've always been the Republic of Ireland. They're in my heart. I'm not so crazy about Northern Ireland, So I'll give it to them. I think interesting. Best there. That's like Roy Carroll as well. Oh my God, no! You're gonna lose because of him in net. You ain't gonna get anywhere with that. You need a better keeper.
Yeah, listen, United Devil. Make sure you speak to somebody, bro. Mental health is very important. Make sure that you speak to people. That's the way we do, bro. We come together. We come together and we talk about it, and that's the love in it. That's what football does to us. It's supposed to be a relief. For 18 years, the Glazers have took us to the dreamers, but hopefully, we pray. Big up to everybody, by the way. Ramadan Kareem to everybody fasting as well, and hopefully it'll go. Like I said, I've got good news for you. If you live in the UK, next year's Ramadan is even going to be the easiest. January 1 in 2 years' time, if you're alive, it's going to be the best. It's going to be like 3:30. You can scran.
But they're not fasting already. When it's only 5-6 hours, you can't really call that fasting, can you?
Well, that's how it is. Sundown, mate. Listen, Best was a genius, but I never got to see him. I met him once, but I never got to see him.
It's a shame he played on those cabbage patch pitches as well. You know, those pitches were like
and that hard ball.
Yeah, the hard ball as well. Yeah, it's a shame because he was very light on his feet, George Best, wasn't he? Super light on his feet.
Yeah. Big up everybody, man. Big up everybody. Like I said, check out Irfan Rainey on Instagram and Irfan Rainey on Twitter. So go and check him out. Big up. And we send the love and light to everybody who's fasting and everybody who's on impression. Fever La Revolution.
Not fasting. Love and light to you lot as well. You know, everyone.
Yeah, love and light to everybody. Listen to everybody. But especially what's going on, the revolution that's going on in France, man. We're with you.
Yeah, they might. Yeah, I thought. Didn't you find it funny? Didn't you find it funny, Nuruddin, when Charles and Camilla thought, "Oh, we're not going now." I thought that was hilarious. That.
Of course, they're not going.
As I said, they probably envisaged the guillotines and thought, "No, thanks. We'll stay away
Mary
from."
Antoinette, if you know, you know. That's a bit of history for you guys to look up. Take care, fellas. Good night, Bumbaye. Big up to you.
Big up, bro.
Your boys are getting gassed out, and I'm banging away your team. No problem. Absolutely no problem. Just remember. Yeah,
no, 100%. You're just all you're gonna be doing is throwing licks, throwing punches. Yeah, that's all that's gonna happen.
I'm keeping that ball, mate. See you later.
Yeah, Nuruddin, you're set up not to lose, but not to win. You're set up to not.
Are
lose.
you kidding me? The best passer and the best finisher.
Irfan, he's set up to entertain, man. He's set up to entertain big time.
No, he's set up for nil-nils. He's set up for nil-nils.
Listen, 5-a-side tournament, we're going to the final, guaranteed. We're winning it. Dude. It's a winning team, mate. You don't know what you guys are on about, man. Seriously.
What Kings of 1-0 Dino's team? 1-0 victories. That's all.
Still gonna win it though. Still gonna win it.
Anyway, you admit it.
Good night, people. Love and light, people. Before we go, we always say, please look after your emotional and mental health well-being. Do not get sucked in by PR, spin, and propaganda. Don't. What will happen is going to happen. If the voters are going to stay, get part of the campaign. Become part of the campaign. If you want to do something about it and you're frustrated, get on No Penny More. Write to all the sponsors. Tweet at them. Write emails to the Elliott Group. We know all of that. We've been doing it since the Elliott Group have involved themselves in Man United. If you go to a match day, get involved in the protest outside the stadium. It's simple, people. Do not be apathetic. Just like majority of people in this country.
There you go. There's your team.
Be the French. Be like the French. You see? Propaganda, mate. Everybody's scared of my team,
what's funny, Nuruddin? You know what Macron did today? When he was giving his speech, he realized he had an 80 grand watch on, 80 euro watch on, and he had to take off in the middle of the interview.
80 grand?
80 grand. His watch he was wearing was 80 grand. This is what I saw on Twitter today. And he took it off. You see him take it off. Yeah.
The Dutch lads are here. Van der Sar, Blind, Stam, Nistelrooy, Van Persie. That's a decent team.
You know what? Do you know what? We have got a rich history of Dutch players that have done really well. Argentina as well. You know what I mean? I like that.
No, we got bigger Dutch. I'd say the Dutch is the biggest on Man United. Listen, you boys don't remember Arnold Muren, do you?
No, fantastic.
No, you don't remember Arnold Muren. That's what I'm saying.
I've seen the video, sir.
We robbed him from Ipswich when they battered us 6-0. He was one of the first. His first Dutch player I remember, left-footed player called Arnold Muren.
And Irfan, guess what? That day I was in the stadium. I was in the stadium when Andy Cole scored 5 and we gave them 9. Revenge was sweet. Remember that? Ipswich.
Yeah, we did. We got him back. We got him back with 9.
We gave them 9, and Andy Cole scored.
Yeah, the guy called Franz Tyson and Arnold Muren. These two guys that ran rings round us. I remember we had Gary Bailey in net, and all I remember as a kid was just watching him pull it out of the net, picking it up out of the net all the time. In snowy days when it used to be snowy in winter, constantly. I think orange ball as well.
Listen. I'm gonna listen. Big up Daz and Jonathan. I'll do a video on Ferguson because everybody's telling me about this Ferguson kid. I've not seen too much of him. He's a good finisher, but people are getting way too overexcited.
You mean the kid from Brighton? The kid from Brighton? Yeah.
Listen, I'll do a video. We'll do a video on him. We'll do a podcast on him.
He's Irish in there. He's Irish.
He's Republic of Ireland. Yeah. Big up to you guys. Win, lose or draw. Glazers out, bankers out. Peace. See you in the next one.
Wow.